ce? Și cu ce merge? Hai! Cred că cu 42 trebuie să luăm, dar nu știu cât trebuie să mergem. Nu mai intrăm, dacă nu mai vrei să intrăm în urmă, nu mai las. Mai intrăm? Să nu fie cu bani. Mamă, ce e aici, frate?
Eurostar.
Mamă, asta e cu trenul?
Eurostar.
Cum ați Eurostar?
Ăla pe care ți-a zis băiatul ăla, că trece pe sudul mare, ce ajungem în Franța.
Mamă, aici e ca la... Pe avem voie? Văd că sunt din ăștia pe aici. E ca la... Ce tichiți? Rău. Parcă vezi că ce mai e de uitat. Ia uite, Paris, Amsterdam. 4,40. Eu ți-am zis, putem să plecăm în Paris. Putem să plecăm în Paris. Să știi. Uite mă, nești Morea. Lasă-mă la clădire, știi că este veche. Vrei să mergem și sus? Underground. Mamă, ce interesant.
We should continue to be the best of luck for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games.
Dar acolo este mai aproape de noi. Uite, Trains to Airport. Asta e pentru Luton, vezi? Da, nu aici. Că să ajungeți la Dover și de acolo. Înțelegi? Uite, iar, pe aici Starbucks, ai dat. Uite, de vezi cum vei aici, platform me for Gatwick Airport, platform me for Luton. Noi trebuie să găsim pentru ăsta. Să putem stres. Stres, știi? Aici nu putem să luăm pe ăla. Sheffield. Airport. Thames. Uite, uite, Eurostar.
Can leave some home.
Hai acolo, că am văzut poate, nu știu de măcar. Am crezut că vei după mine, că îi pot să nu înțelegem de ce.
Am văzut și eu albă. N-am voie să văd nimic, să filmez nimic, să văd nimic. Să stau numai ce vrei tu. Să stau numai lângă tine.
Și tu vei la fel de la mine. Cred că. $30 quid? Wow. Câte un în free quarters?
£6.
Oh. Și cana cât?
Nu știu, mie să nu...
Lasă. Nu, hai că eu spun așa.
Yes.
Oh, ce-mi School supplies. Hogwarts Express. These are school supplies here. Where are we going? Hai că mă faci. Este 4 pounds. Da. 4 pounds.
How much?
55 pounds. It's your nice sweater. It's good quality.
Oh my god.
Yeah, really good. Sweater, look at that. Yeah, it's very good. I bought so the little trunks, also the long ones.
All the way down there, turn right. Pay, down there, turn right.
Vrei să iei ceva? Those Gryffindor there. That's here. Harry Potter chocolate. 5 quid. Explosions. Explosions.
It's a real about 30%.
Dar nu a fost acolo. Hai să mergem și la Wands. Ha? Wait, good one. Yes? Let's come on to our ones.
Small ones, 2.
Just the initial.
But yeah, just the initials. Yeah, not a whole name. Just the initials. Like HP.
做幸福嘅其實即係成套 Halloween。 Yellow is your favourite colour.
Ești norocă? Look. How much is it? 74.
100 pounds almost.
Nu, dar nu știu ce e originală.
Și ce faci cu ea?
Nu prea. Zic că s-a pus Look, once when you're ready.
Raven.
Look, this one. Yeah. This one. Gryffindor.
Doar asta le costumezi.
Da? Look, once when they're ready, yeah. Yeah, I want them la mână. Professor McGonagall, Sirius Black. Look, Voldemort. One. Bellatrix Lestrange. Narcissa Malfoy.
Profesor Dumbledore. Snape.
Death. Gita. Next. Bellatrix Lestrange. How much is it? 32 pounds here. Unicorn hair. Very sweet. Character ones. 32 pounds. Mișto.
House Rose. It's meant to sound like a house. It's not actually. It's not actually.
Hello guys.
Dar de astea mari de frigider.
La magneți? Nu știu. N-am văzut.
Anyone waiting to play, please come forward.
Next in line, ready to fly it,
Would you like a bag today?
Yes.
Paper bag or reusable bag? Hi guys. Reusable bags are those ones right there. So top and bottom canvas totes are 6 pounds.
Yeah, we're good. And are you drinking the butter beer now?
Bottom two
Vrei să
plastic
luăm o de
ones
astea?
are...
Ia, câte? Da, ia.
The glasses one?
2,95, 3? Ok. Bine, asta e. Mai bine lui cu Hogwarts
I
Express.
open it to close. The golden snitch one?
E, asta cât era? Asta cât era?
Nu mai știu cât era. 5, nu știu.
Asta e 4.
Nu, dar eu vreau de mai
Ah.
Yeah, this one?
Next line, please.
Next
And
one.
that's all for you, yeah?
Yes.
Total is 46 pounds and 80 pence. Cash.
There you go.
Uite mă,
Are you okay if I put the keyring in the bag for you here?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else at all?
Unde? Sorry?
Anything else?
Magneți aici.
Magnet?
Să-l magnet?
£6 as well.
Yeah.
Mai iau un magnet.
Tickets are £1.95. Huh? After this. Three tickets or two?
2.
Sorry. Huh?
I like your setup.
Yeah.
Your setup.
21.90 altogether. Like card just happens. So.
Thank you. Nice tour.
Receipts in there for you. Have a lovely
Thank
evening.
you. Bye bye. Burası. This kind of yeah, nice. Baksana bu, baksana fotoğraf. Yok polis.
Când facem poză,
Ha, te filmez dacă vrei. Închid?
nu închide.
M-am dus mai jos ca să vadă doar rege. Am here. Ce faci? Aici stau asta. A, da, acum. Da, că e rubrica. Formă continuă. Uite, dacă vrei stai jos aici. Dacă ți-e frică, vino aici și stai jos. Am ajuns. Aici aveți, avem? Hai că o să mă uit eu. Que eu merg mai înainte. Just wait very much to the Titanic.
Wave and smile, boys. Wave and smile.
Wave and smile, yeah. Yeah. Smile. Hello. Matamura.
As you can see, we've just left the Westminster Inn. We are going to turn the boat around and we'll be heading down to our destination. We will be making a stop at our we will have to do seats left, but you are welcome to stand to the sides of your boxes. Don't stand in the centre aisle, but as I say, you're welcome to stand to the sides. There is a fully licensed bar in the lobby area, tea, coffee, soft drinks, beer, wine and as we head down the river today, I will try to point out a few places here. I'm not a professional tour guide though, so if I make any mistakes at all, please do bear with me. I will speak to Hungerfoot and Golden Jubilee walkways. Make sure you give a wave at the people up there, crossing the bridge today. 5 years, good luck. See that little girl up there? If she wasn't with her dad right now, she'd probably be trying something else. We actually went through this bridge last year, and I think it was June or July, one of the hottest days of the year, and there was a kid up there with some ice cream or even a milkshake, not 100% sure what it was. He
Feministą
threw it over the top deck and hit a bloke right on the head. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. Here to your left hand side we have Embankment Pier. We've got to make a very brief stop here. Got a few passengers to pick up. Once we make this stop at Embankment, we'll be crossing the river to the other side there to vessel there on your right. Once we make these short stops, we'll be heading downstream. In the meantime, look directly in front of you, look along the embankment. The stone obelisk there is Cleopatra's Needle. This was presented to us by a very grateful Egyptian government to show some form of appreciation and gratitude for helping and defeat Napoleon at the Battle of the River Nile. Cleopatra's Needle is the oldest monument in London today, 3,500 years old. So we're going to make this very brief stop here at Embankment Pier, so I'll be back to you in just a minute's time.
Ahí se fue fuera.
The exits, life-saving appliances and your firefighting equipment, all clearly marked in the green and white international signs. Though there is no smoking permitted on board the boat, that does include the use of e-cigarettes. You are very welcome to join us here on the top deck. You are welcome to stand to the side. Just don't stand in the centre aisle, as the captain does need to see where he is going. But as I say, you're welcome to stand to the sides. As we continue our journey downstream, I will continue on with our little talk, but as I say, I'm not a professional guide, so please bear with me. If you take a quick look here to your left, the building with the green tiled roof and the flag posts is the riverside entrance to a world famous Savoy Hotel, one of the most luxurious and unaffordable hotels in London. The cheapest room over there will set you back by about £800, and in that booking you do get a complimentary breakfast, which includes a cup of coffee and a croissant, and that's it. So we're just passing through the Waterloo Bridge, as the nickname of the Ladies' Bridge, built by 70% female labour. All our men were away fighting in the Second World War. It's the only bridge in London to ever be completed on time and under budget. So the ladies have done a wonderful job. If we take a look here to our right, you'll see the concrete building with the flashing room. This is our National Theatre. It was built in the 60s in concrete era, but today the building has been voted as one of the ugliest looking buildings in London. In fact, King Charles, before he was pronounced King Charles, he actually said in an interview the building was more like a bank to a nuclear power plant. I think most people would actually agree with me. Ahead of you, to your left, you'll see the large white ship with the yellow funnel. That's HQS Wellington. She was a sloop in the Royal New Zealand's Navy. It is now a floating livery hall for the Honourable Company of Master Mariners. To be a Master Mariner, you need to have served over 25 years at sea. Now look behind the Wellington towards the stern of the ship. On the embankment there, you'll see a stone archway, and in the centre there's a face of old Father Thames looking down at his river. This is the Temple Arch, the boundary line between the city of Westminster we are just leaving, and we now enter the 1 square mile city of London. The city of London only covers 1 square mile. Keep your attention here to your left. Look very carefully. You can just make out a red telephone box, an old-fashioned one. There used to be hundreds of these here in the city of London. Only one remains though, soon to be converted into a 2-bedroom apartment complex with riverside views. Here to your right, you'll see the brick building. Look at the roof of the building, and you see that tower. Look very carefully at the window. 3 letters. O-N-O. Spells the word officer. I'm sure many of you know who Octo are. If you don't, they're a company that makes wavy boxes. And this is one their headquarters, built in 1932. And back then, it was one of the tallest buildings in London. But take a moment and look at London's skyline. You can see something has clearly changed in the last few years. The building no longer belongs to the Octo company, but it's a grade 2 listed building, so it can't be changed or removed in any way. Here to your left, the building with the green sloped roof and the spire, the old City of London School for Boys. Many former Prime Ministers and politicians of this fine country have been educated over here, such as Sir Winston Spencer Churchill, who was our Prime Minister during the Second World War. The building doesn't belong to the City of London School. They've moved downstream. I do believe the building is an office, one of the headquarters of J.P. Morgan, the American bank. All this land here to your left, this is all known as Blackfriars. It's still in the City of London, and Blackfriars is the financial district of the City of London. And the bridge we are just passing through now, this is the Blackfriars Road Bridge, and it is followed very closely by the Blackfriars Rail Bridge. But look how the side of it. You see the old remains of the first ever rail bridge, which ran over the Alexander Central Rail. Only the 8 brick pillars remain today, can't be removed, to undermine the foundations to the Blackfriars Rail Bridge we are just passing through. Ahead of you, here to your right, is the Bankside, as you can see, a very popular part of London. See the building with the chimney stack and the glass roof That's the old Bankside power station. No longer in use, it's in home to the Tate Modern Art Gallery. You can enter this art gallery today completely free of charge. See many art exhibits, such as half a pound of plastic box, and our main teenagers' beds, a pile of empty beer cans, and a man stacking up a bunch of bricks. After walking round this building for a few hours, you'll shortly see why it was free to rent. Want to see a real piece of art? Take a look here to your left. We have a lovely view of the grey dome and golden cross of Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece, St Paul's Cathedral. Took Wren 35 years to complete, and it stands as the second largest unsupported cathedral dome in the world. The first largest vehicles in the city.
Yeah, and it's strange to
If
see
you look
that.
in front of St Paul's, see the red brick building here? You can see the shields on the outside with the griffins. This is the City of London School. Many prime ministers and politicians have been educated over here. In fact, Harry Potter was educated here, also known as Daniel Craig. Over here to your right, the white circular building with the thatched roof is a replica of Shakespeare's Rosalind. You can see many of Shakespeare's plays being reenacted here, such as Romeo and Juliet, and probably other things. And you never see a play being reenacted. An interesting fact, it's got like a regular there's no light, there's no TV, and there are no here you actually have to stand up. And if it does rain, it's got a local roof, just bear that in mind. In front of you, you'll see the Southwark Bridge. Look above the bridge there, slightly off to your right, you see the tall glass building. That is the Shard of Glass. It's meant to resemble a broken bit of glass. At 1,016 feet tall, it's the tallest building in Western Europe. Comprises of many things. You've got offices, apartments, hotels and restaurants, and at the very top there's a viewing gallery where you can pay up to £40 to look outside. Here to your right, the building with the red window frame is the Pancras at Thames. A very famous and historical town. 2015, they celebrated their third birthday. See the attic of that pub. That's where William Shakespeare, along with his players, used his attic as a changing room. He was the great author, stood behind that pub. They had there was a passing through the very narrow and street railings. And ahead of you here to your right, the sailing ship there is a replica of Sir Francis Drake's galleon, the Golden Hind. The Golden Hind was the vessel that Sir Francis Drake had improved, fully circumnavigated Rome under the secret orders of Queen, Elizabeth. This great doctor ship has gone round the world. Keep your sense, here's your lights. Look between the two buildings and behind the sea. You see the seven, the people. There's been a place of worship here since the 12th century. And this is where John Harvey was baptized, a son of a local slave who left England and moved to America. There he found the Harvard Bible, which is now the Harvard University. That's the thesis. So just passing through the London Bridge in 1971 by our Now ahead of you, there to your left, the lovely yellow brick building with the golden fish weather vanes is the old Lynn's Gate Fish Markets. There's been a fish market on this site for nearly 900 years, until the tradition was sadly broken. They had to move to larger premises further downstream. Keep your attention there to your left. The building behind the trees is Walter Guard's house. This is our customs house. This is where they train the lovely smiling people who rip your bags apart when you get to the airport. As you can see, London's very open. The HMS Belfast. She saw action throughout the entire Second World War and was decommissioned from the Royal Navy in the late 70s. Originally going to a scrapyard, she was saved by the Imperial War Museum. She rests peacefully here as a maritime museum. I'm not sure if anyone has seen recently. It was the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landing. And for the anniversary, the Belfast actually fired one of their guns. Obviously flame shelter, but it was still a lovely sight. Every day, let's see the tower of London, most famously known as a place of execution and the tower bridge opened in 1894 as a twin suspension on a the training by a National Bridge is basically a giant bridge. The central arch of the bridge raises in two sections to allow large ships through the upper London. When we pass through the Tower Bridge, we'll be turning the boat around and we'll be making our next stop, Butler's Walk here for the Tower of London. Now just check your tickets at this point, I'll give you the information about them. If your ticket has a river pass or Greenwich on it, you stay on the boat. If you have the Butler's Walk, the Tower Bridge tickets, even if it's a return or a round trip, you leave us at this point and you change boats. The next boat leaving will be leaving at 12:40. So all you just have to do is stay on the pier as soon as we leave the Westminster boat. If you need any more help, we will have the agents on the pier with temporary sightseeing photos. those saints, if there is anyone leaving us here today, just remain where you are until the boat touches. Let me do a gentle welcome and the exit is at the very back of the boat, so keep it very wanted to warn you, we're now in the Docklands area. When we passed through Tower Bridge, we left the city and we're in an area known as Docklands, the commercial side of the River Thames. And just to let you know, the speed limit changes here, and we have the high-speed craft called Uber boats by Thames Clippers flying up and down the river at this point. And we know what Uber drivers are like in a car, in a taxi in London. Imagine what they're like in a boat. They're even worse. And the places of interest do get a bit few and far between at this point. Here to your right, starting off, you'll see the dock entrance here. That's the entrance to St Saviour's Dock. Some of you may recognise this dock entrance from the original film Oliver Twist, as this is where they actually done a lot of the original film. Now over here to your left hand side, there's a pier with all these barges. These used to be merchant barges. They used to transport cargo up and down the River Thames. They're no longer in use though, they're houseboats. It's an interesting way to live on a houseboat. Your living room bounces up every few minutes, and if you don't like your neighbours, they're always throwing parties, arguing, the dog won't stop barking, or there being a general nuisance. Just cut their ropes in the night, and no more noisy neighbours. Head of you there to your left hand side, you'll see that yellow brick building. Painted down the side of it are the words Oliver's Wharf. Oliver's Wharf was the first riverside warehouse to be converted into riverside apartments. The sub-penthouse went up for sale about 5 years ago, maybe, for over £8 million. That's just for the sub-penthouse. A look down the sides of Oliver's Wharf, can you see that white marquee there? Behind it there is a pub called the Town of Ramsgate. Any convicted pirate or smuggler would have their last sort of run in the pub there. See the flights of stairs? They'd be walked down these stairs along the foreshore to the building in the corner there with the 3 red balconies and the letter E at the top. This was known as the execution dock. This is where they would hang said pirates and smugglers until near death, and then chain them along the river wall until 3 high tides would pass over their heads before they was pronounced well and truly dead. Now we've just slowed the boat down. There's a fuel barge here. They're just fueling one of the piers here. This is Cherry Garden here. They're just refueling. So we have to slow the boat down as boats create a wash and it make their fuel barge shake side to side. So we're just slowing down. As we come round this bend, take a look here to your left hand side, you'll see the police pier there. That's the Wapping Police Pier. The Marine Police at Wapping is the oldest uniform police service in the world. It was founded by 2 merchants from the East India Trading Company, Patrick Calhoun and Sir John Harriet. They got so fed up of pirates and smugglers stealing their cargo, they decided to found the Wapping Police, where it was actually started off as a private security firm, and fellow merchant companies would actually pay the East India Trading Company for protection while in ports, and that is how the Wapping Police started. What was I saying? Yeah, sorry, I had a bit of a brain freeze. Head of you there to your right, you'll see the building with the chimney pot there. This is Thames Tunnel Mills. As we pass this building, directly beneath us is the underground tunnel, one of the first ever underwater tunnels in the world to be constructed, built in the late 18th century, which is still in use today. It's used by the underground. Keeping your attention here to your right, that white painted building is the Mayflower Tavern. This was named and built after the famous ship, the Mayflower. The Mayflower was the vessel that left here in London, sailed down the river along the south coast of this country to Plymouth, where she picked up the Pilgrim Fathers and sailed across the ocean to the New World we now call the United States of America. On her journey back to London, the Mayflower was actually quite badly damaged in a storm. So badly damaged she was completely beyond repairable. They sailed her up the river here on her last and final voyage, where the ship was laid up along the foreshore here, and they basically took her apart. So all the timber from the Mayflower was actually used to make that very pub, along with all the furniture on the insides. There's a part of British and American history. Over here to your left hand side, look between those apartments. See that white painted building? Has a willow tree in the garden. That's a prospect of Whitby. This is the oldest registered pub to line the banks of the River Thames. It dates back to the 15th century, where the pub was first registered in 1520. This pub might be old, but you can trust me, it has some of the most modern day prices. Ahead of you to your left, look past that building site, you'll see that red brick monstrosity. I know it looks like a 5-year-old has built it with some Lego bricks, but this building actually has a very clever design. There are over 300 apartments here, and each one of them gets a riverside view. The more riverside views, the more the valuable the property does become. That's why the building is such a unique design. Keep your attention here to your left. Can you see the old remains of a wooden jetty here? These are the old remains of Free Trade Wharf. This name dates back to the Plague of London, where no countries would allow their ships up the River Thames, besides one, the Dutch. And for their bravery, all the Dutch merchants were waived of all port tolls and taxes, hence the name Free Trade Wharf. And they do believe if it wasn't for the Dutch merchants, all the people in London would have actually starved to a death instead of dying off the plague. And many people actually believe this is where the saying Dutch courage comes from. If we look further down the river, to your left there, you can see a dock entrance. You can see a canal barge there, but we're not interested in that dock entrance. We're interested in the building next to it. See the small red brick building? This is a Narrow at Limehouse. This is a gastropub. It's owned by that famous British chef, Gordon Ramsay. You know, the one who shouts at everyone on the TV? Well, as I was saying, this is its gastropub. The difference between a gastropub and a normal pub is about £4.50 a pint. Now looking at dock entrance there, quite further back, can you see the chimney there and the statue? Well, this is where the Grand Union Canal starts. The Grand Union Canal is the largest canal we have here in United Kingdom. It starts here at Limehouse, and you can actually head through England and all the way up to Liverpool. In fact, our canals used to be very busy at one time. Before the invention of the train, the way we moved cargo was by horse and carriage, and another was to use a barge. They would load the cargo here in London from the big ships, head all through England, all through the canals, and that cargo could be transported up and down the country. We don't really use our canals anymore to transport cargo, as the trains and the planes do it so much quicker. Here to your left, the building with the wooden balconies is the Grapes, another pub owned by Sir Ian McKellen, the famous British actor. I can't remember what it was, Gandalf, that's it. He played Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. Now over here to your left hand side we have a dock entrance, no longer in use so, but this is Lime Kill Dock. This name dates back to the Great Fire of London of 1666. After the Great Fire of London, they decided that London's buildings, all the buildings in London, would no longer be made out of woods and timber, it would be made out of bricks and stone. And this is where the lime kilns would unload their cargo, hence the name Lime Kill Dock. You'll see the Canary Wharf development here. By 2028 there is going to be 11 more offices here, along with 3 brand new hotels and a whole shopping centre, all by 2028. So we're just going round the bends here in the river, as you can see, and we now enter a stretch of river called Limehouse Reach. Has earned the nickname of Windy Reach for obvious reasons. You may also notice something about Limehouse Reach, obviously not the wind, but you can see there's literally nothing here. It's just all these apartments. So what I'm going to do is, the next 10-15 minutes or so, I'm going to leave you in peace and quiet. When we do get further downstream and approach Greenwich in about 10 minutes time, I will pick the mic back up, point out the places of Greenwich to you, and give you the times of the returning boats. But as I say, for now, I will be leaving you in peace and quiet. Just be
North entrance.
Station Thames. See containers. Deixar. Pode não ser.
'63 to Honor Oak.
hermano también.
Ya je osnovna. A kola. Poate la blocul.
Blackfriars Station, South Entrance.
Quedó bien.
63. 2 Honor Oak.
Fíjate. Hoy no me te fui del teléfono. La temperatura. Ahorita estaba lloviendo, está muy calorazo afuera. Que me llegó todo eso.
No, pero por si acaso.
Qué caso, qué caso.
Y se me da frío.
Tomaba frío.
Pero ahorita me dio frío.
Stanford Street.
Stanford.
De ahorita.
S-ar putea de pe aici televiziune. Am Express.
Ah, esta. ¿Cómo venía yo esta canción que dice? Pero un deseo.
Esto que vamos andando.
¿Cómo es tuyo?
No ha sido eso.
Claro,
No es eso.
Católica?
Pero no es esa, tío.
Domnul, hai plăcut.
Nu te știu ala.
But you know people wear it. People wear it when they sleep. Para tomar esto, yo sleep. Quiero probar un trozo de vida.
Mm.
63. 2 Honor Oak.
Nicholson Street.
Southwark Station.
Episodul aici ce-o des.
Tengo que buscarlo porque si yo la veo, si yo la veo.
Facem, când am intențiune aici.
Esa segunda función.
Ce?
Yo estaré
No, él estará pendiente porque como que llegue y está ansioso. Lástima de tu casi yo calculando.
$63. 2 Honor Oak.
Yo lo venía viendo. No, ¿cómo es cero? El neto.
Pocock Street.
Alto. Che non so. Kita semua malu.
Ini perusahaan, ini dia dulu kayak gitu. Sebelumnya kan kayak gitu. Tuh, kayak gitu. Sekarang kayak gini.
Tapi pipinya masih kelihatan.
Badan lah, badan.
63.
Nanti kayak
2 Honor Oak.
News, nih.
St George's Circus.
Mana kamu namanya Madina? Madina?
Lama pengabul. Kita ambil. Aku ada pelipar halaman diselin namanya Medina.
Caca, no me llevo a él.
Murah di dapur.
Dime, Junior, mira.
Yo no creo. No lo llevo a él. No me llevo a él.
Aku pacaran Aleza Mendy.
63.
Bagus loh.
2 Honor Oak.
Oye, bener.
Kenapa kamu suka Aleza sih?
Ada sesuatu kesel.
Aleza Mendy sih. Aleza Mendy.
Di forte traffico.
Iya.
Lucu sih kok. Oh, bisa namanya. Aduh, jangan Aleza.
Kamu nggak boleh Aleza, aku nggak boleh Mendy.
Era que nosotros empezamos.
Lantai sama Raso, ndak batak.
Rasa mana aku perfect name.
Gimana kemarin main Sushi
Para esperar.
nyaman banget ngeras gitu.
Estar ese dos.
Yo estaré celoso de perderte.
Kamu pernah bercanda apa nggak tahu? Aku nggak tahu kamu pernah bercanda. Ini kamu serius nggak bercanda? Kenapa?
Que no,
Bagaimana kenapa?
Elephant and Castle. London Road.
Tiga yang mau gimana empat ya? Tiga yang nggak mau gimana empat?
aquí. Vamos. Pues si quieren se paró aquí.
Şimdi çakalı
Tendrá que pararse.
¿No crees que a veces no?
Esperando que se mueva, pero ya no se va a parar. Es que hay adelante. Porque mira la parada de este lado.
No, no, yo sé, pero yo creo que la de allí detrás. No sabía que se paraba aquí.
Типа София просто даст.
Mira la ven. Esta es la parada suya.
No, no, yo sé, pero yo pensé que este 40 paraba.
Este no es 40 minutos. Que es el 63.
63. 2 Honor Oak. Please use the available seats upstairs if you can.
Come era vai? Dinner lock la musica ok filmul ăla cu muzica noi, că ne-am uitat noi. Și mexicanii cum se duceau în dead. Nu, se duceam, am uitat cum îi ziceam. Coco.
Da.
Diversion ends. Mă gândeam că vrei să mănânc ceva așa.
Păi și unde se bucură?
Că la Tower of London mai găsim ceva acolo. Zic la Permansi, la hotel, mai găsim ceva acolo. Că nu cred.
Păi nu ne lasă chiar acum. Trebuie să mergem 10 minute.
Ah, deci tot mergem pe jos. Hai să vedem aici. Că nu-mi dau seama eu.
I think I know definitely like water.
Trebuie să fim pe lângă de șapte. Sau suntem în dreapta? Zici că sunt agare, mă. Te și ar vrea acolo. N-am dus, aici am fost.
Elephant Castle, New Kent
Stai,
Road.
am Aurelian, să mai multe. Aici au fost.
He's trying.
Agare la Constantele.
Dar care am strânge? Serios, seamănă puțin să nu.
Seamănă, Maxim.
Da, mă, fără asta, n-a? Seamănă, chiar seamănă.
Sigur că e.
Ăștia măcar au lăsat că acum 500 de ani ne-am schimbat, că noi tot ne-am fost proști. Uite, gymbox. Uite pe ăștia. Soundboard, da. Vezi că la ultima scopăm cu unul. Uite.
63. 2 on an edge.
Acasă.